Welcome. Welcome to another Tuesday and another stream. Today's Tuesday. My Tuesday was pretty chill. Not much to do. I was able to work on one of my videos. We're able to finish it, publish it, or at least plan it for tomorrow. My likeness sculpt, my first likeness sculpt I did last week. It'll be a time lapse. It'll be up tomorrow. So if anybody wants to check that out, of course, you can do that. So today, of course, after we finished our quick sketch, we will dive into a new topic, which will be, you probably guessed it already because of the title, we will go into geometry nodes. I've never used geometry nodes before, so it'll be an interesting little project. My plan is to look into it, and then we're gonna create something. I don't really know what. I'm not quite sure what the capabilities are, but it looked pretty cool what I saw on Twitter and YouTube in terms of like finished projects. So yeah, I'm probably gonna yeah, we'll see what we can do. We're gonna go into it, learn it by doing it, and if I really can't figure anything out, then we will probably look into a few tutorials. But I think we can figure it out ourselves. But of course, as I said before, first things first, the quick sketch. My scene is already set up. As you can see down here, we have version 2.92.0. So if I open this window, you can see right there, there's a new window, Geometry Node Editor, where you can basically work just like in the shader editor. But of course, we're going to look into that in a little bit. First, we'll do the quick sketch. I already have something in my mind. It'll be fun and challenging. I don't know if I can really do everything I want, but we'll see. We have 30 minutes, of course. Then we're gonna go into post-production, like maybe like 30 minutes, 10 minutes more, and then I upload the image, and then we can start with the geometry nodes. Let me just quickly put these into the camera collection. Okay. So, I am ready. Hopefully you are as well. Let me just quickly pull up my asset that I want to implement. Oop, that's the wrong folder. There you go. And there it is. Okay. I am ready. So I would say 3, 2, 1, go. 30 minutes. Let's go. What I want to do first is pull up my human base mesh. Who would have guessed? Collection, human base mesh append, and there he is. Now let's remove this circle. We don't need these things. I should probably remove them in the original file so they won't be appended every time. So first of all, I'm gonna go in here and put him in a running pose. It'll be the easiest part. Oh, before we do that though, put him back a few viewport level steps. Now we can do it. Put this somewhere in the front. We will rotate this, and now I'm just trying to make a nice running pose. I'm doing it like out of my just thinking how a running pose would look like. I don't have a reference right now, so that'll be a little bit harder. But let's see what we can get. They should probably be a little bit higher. Like this maybe. Then we have the leg that is supporting somewhere around here maybe. Probably in the center. And then the other one will be further back. There you go. Looks kind of weird right now. I think we have to rotate this like this. And then actually this has to be more like this. a hunched back. More like that, that's better. Okay. Yeah, more like this. Okay, then we want to move this foot over here. That's better. Okay, his neck looks kind of weird right now. I could probably... Could I pull him even lower? Oh, yeah, could work. Rotate this in. Okay. We should probably also rotate this in terms of this axis. Should we rotate this or rather this? That's better. Okay, that's better. Now the hip is rotated a little bit. That helps sell the look and also sell the weight that he's standing on his left foot. And then also let's arrange his hands. His right hand should be in front. More like this maybe. He's looking kind of weird right now. He's asking himself, why am I standing like this? More like this. The other hand to the back. Okay. That's looking better now. The neck still looks kind of weird. Let's go into X-ray vision view so we can see it. That's better. This is kind of weird. I don't know. That's probably a rigging. Like I would probably have to fix the rig for this to actually work properly. But I'm not going to do that now. Also back there you can see it going into the skull. But you can see it in the end anyway, so it's not too bad. Okay. Could probably be a little bit more drastic or more more dynamic, but we only have a few minutes, 30 minutes, so we have to be quite quick, so I can't spend too much time on all the details. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Let's change his face as well. So make him look more like an actual human. What I want to do is rotate. Oh, before I do that, I'm going to activate X-axis mirror so we can do both sides at once. More like this, maybe. Okay. That's better. Go into the eye settings. Put this higher. Yep. This one as well. Nope, this one shouldn't move, but this one should go lower just a little bit. Move the lips down. Okay, that's better. Okay, that's the first one. We're gonna do more. We have spent 5 minutes on this, but the next one shouldn't be too long. Shouldn't be as long, rather. What I want to do first, though, is I'm gonna bring in a room, a corridor. So let's do that real quick. Move this closer to here. This should be longer, I mean. I then need a cut right there. Right there. And then I have these two sides extrude, scale them out. Perfect. So I have my corridor. Next up, I'm gonna put in the walls. So we just extrude this up. Okay, perfect. Oh, hold on. Like this. Okay, I then bring in a cut right there for a door. I don't really know how high this thing has to be. Okay, something like, hold on, go back to edit mode. Like this maybe. I then need a second cut, like this. 2 cuts actually, more like this. So we have a door frame. Then go in here, delete this. Perfect. Okay. So next up, we need some more dudes. Let's put this into wireframe mode. Wireframe, nope, not wireframe, I meant display as wire, so we can see through. And then I'm going to duplicate this bad boy. Before I do that though, I want to select everything that is part of the rig. Geometry, let's remove, oh no, I can't remove his parts. Let's duplicate this first. Bring it further back. Okay. So let's change this as well. So let's go in here and change this as well. So we go back into pose mode. This one first can look angry. X-axis mirror. Like this. Yeah, that should be enough. Maybe we could lower his... yeah, like that. Okay. That looks pretty good. Then I want to change his pose a little bit. Use this. No, hold on. Let me go back here. Pull this to the back. The foot should be in the front of this one. Rotate it. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. Looks like he's jumping. Put this to the back. Rotate this. Nope. Okay. The torso as well. Then I need the other hand. Put this over here. Okay. Where's there it is. My elbow. Put this lower. Hold on, this has to be the other way around. Okay, where's my elbow setting? There it is. Okay. Then I need my other hand. Make it more like this. Then I want to put them into a grabbing position like this. Yeah, like this. Perfect. Okay, that should be probably a little bit longer. Yep. Fine-tuning this could probably take a while, but that's just how it is. We can select all of them. Then put it to individual origins, rotate it on the z-axis, so we rotate it like this. Perfect. Do the same with these. So we have a nice quick holding pose. Perfect. Of course, it doesn't have to be perfect, as I said before. So we'll just keep it like this. Let's move this out a little bit. Okay. Also, let's move his torso up a little bit. Actually, we can probably keep it like this. What I want to do though is go back, move him over a little bit, more like this. Okay. Then I want to duplicate this dude again. Need a few poses. We have like spent almost half of the time. Okay. Let's go back into pose mode. Okay. I will put this down, lower, like that. Put this forward to the side. Oh, hold on, there it is. That's the edge, roughly. Then I want to rotate him slightly. Put this back. This one forward. Okay. Move him over so he looks to the front like this. His hand looks kind of wacky. Wild and wacky. Let's switch that. Okay. Okay. We probably need one more. So let's do that real quick. Shouldn't take super long. Good thing is they're already in a running position, so we don't have to like do too many changes. Then maybe over here. This one can probably have a the holding in the other, like they should have a stick in their hand in the end, a glow stick. That's why I make them like give them this holding or grabbing position or like pose for the hand. Where's the elbow? There it is. Okay. Looks pretty good. Let's rotate this to the other side. Oh, hold on. There you go. Kind of concentrating right now, so I'm not really talking. This has to be quite quick. That's why I'm so concentrated. Go in here, select these rings. Nope, let's do him first. Rotate out, rotate on the y-axis, rotate on the z-axis, rotate on the y-axis a little bit more, z-axis, there you go. Perfect. Like this. Do these ones. Oh, hold on, I selected the wrong one. Dude, select the correct one. Okay. There you go. Oh my god. Speed run. Oh no. 50 minutes left. Could work. Could maybe not work. Will most likely not be enough, but doesn't matter. Okay. Let's change this as well. Okay. Yeah, that should be good. Okay, let's save that real quick. Quick sketches, quick sketch day 51. There you go. Oh, not 52, 51. Save that. There you go. Let's go in here. I can't see anything. That isn't too worrying. What I want to bring in first is the camera. Go to rendered view so I can see the room. Go in here, remove this light, move the camera in there. The focus point should be on him, on his face probably, or on his torso rather. That looks pretty good. Okay, then move the camera in. I want to make this pretty shallow in terms of depth of field. Maybe put this to a nice 30. If you're closer in like close rooms, you should use a very close depth of field. I think I'm gonna put this even on the ground. So more like this. I have a very specific reason for that. I'm gonna show you what that is in just a second. Okay. Next up, we can't see any of these dudes, of course, because we need a sunlight. Put that in there. Move that over. Let's rotate it so we can see the entrance right there. Perfect. Oh, hello. That's perfect. Then I want to change the angle so it's a little bit smoother. Yeah. That's perfect. Not too much. I want to have this nice streak at the bottom. Put this then maybe to 3. Okay, perfect. This actually is pretty bright right now. Maybe we could pull it a little bit closer, like this. Change this to a pretty harsh, or yeah, it should be pretty harsh. More like this. Okay. Then next up, I want to bring in the sticks for these dudes. Cylinder, make it smaller, pretty small. Make it also overall smaller. There you go. Put that into their hands. Perfect. Looks pretty good. Next up, I want to bring in a handle, so I just make a cut right there, over here. That should be good. I will probably go in here and make a small change to this. Just pull it higher so it's a little bit rounded. That's better. Put this to smooth. Then I go in here and make 2 shader layers. The first one will be for the top. Assign, invert, make a new layer, assign, X-ray off, edit off, make new shaders, make a new one for the second one. Okay, that's going to be just a black handle, so roughness can be pretty high. That should be good. Add one right there. Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted. Go in here, make a emission, shader emission, put that in there. Perfect. Put the strength maybe to 10. Haha. Okay. That's looking pretty good. We have 10 minutes left, so I'm now gonna duplicate this glow stick. Or hold on, I'm gonna make this more like a mace, so this one will be higher up. Or we could do multiple weapon types, so we will duplicate this. Give him one. All 3 should have one. Okay. Pull this lower. Okay. Rotate. Put him into his hand. There you go. Almost. Okay. Next up, this one will be a little bit higher. More like this. Maybe you can't see it in his hand, so I'm probably going to keep it down there. What I can do though is make him 2 cuts or 3 or 4 cuts. Yep. Okay, then I select these ones. Go in here, assign the material. Nice. Okay, and now we copy this one again and give the last one also a stick. Give it in his left hand. Almost there. Okay. That's looking pretty good. Let's make his weapon a little bit different. You'd probably go in here and put in right there one of these. I'm just talking gibberish right now. I'm concentrating. Select these faces, extrude along normal, make it bigger. There you go. Okay. Then I'm gonna go in here, select these faces and this one as well. Assign those to this thing. There you go. Okay, now we go back to the front. We should probably include some more details into this room. What we could do probably is go in here. Let's make this a solid. Okay. Next up, what I want to do first is probably... We have 8 minutes left. One thing that I want to do is probably reduce the strength of this. Put this maybe to 1. Then the strength of the emission. Let's see, should we put this down as well? Maybe to 5? Maybe to 1? It shouldn't be too strong, so 2 should probably be enough, or maybe 3. They should be a little bit illuminated by it, but I'm gonna put in more lights. That's what I'm gonna do now. Use a cube. Put this over here. Make it smaller. I mean thinner. Also like this. Then I'm gonna go in here. Select these vertices. Bevel them. Give them more bevel resolution. There you go. Now go in here. Bring in a cut right there. Select this, extrude along normals, make it wider, there you go. Now I'm gonna go in here, do the same in here, select these, all the faces, shader, first one assign emission, second one invert, assign material, there you go. Move this lamp in here, make it smooth. Smooth looks kind of weird, so I'm going to move it in here without making it smooth. Making it very, very small. Putting it to the ceiling. Where's the ceiling? Oh, there it is. Okay. Putting it into the center of this thing. This corridor, roughly. I don't really know where the center is. This should be pretty good. We have 6 minutes left, so that should be enough. Move this closer to the front, use a array modifier, put this not to this but to 0 and then y maybe 10, increase the amount so it goes all the way back. Maybe one more, there you go. Next up I want to, let's see, 6 minutes. I will probably bring in a volume. So let's go in here and bring a volume in here, make it shader. This surface can probably stay like this. We don't need any changes in here. Actually, could we change the ground to something shiny? Let's see. So we need a second shader right there. Go in here, select these faces. Like this, and then make a new shader layer, assign, make a new shader. Where's my shader? There it is. Make it very smooth. Not too smooth, maybe 0.1. Maybe make it black? Oh. No, then we can't see the glow on the ground. No, that's not gonna work. Actually, white. 5 minutes. Yeah, maybe a little bit higher, the roughness 0.2 maybe. That should be pretty good. Then we go to the first layer, set the whiteness to complete white. I then bring in a volume shader, put the volume into the volume, white into white, density, oh wait, that's 1? That can't be right? Is it, what about 10? Okay, well that's not right. Let's make a new cube. Make a new cube. Move it over here. Make it wider. Make it longer. Over here. There you go. Make this a wire. Go in here. Bring in a new shader. Remove this principled BSDF shader. Principal volume. Volume into volume. White into white. Density maybe 0.1. Yep. Then I'm gonna go in here. Let's see what it looks like. Okay. The emission can probably be a little bit higher now. So we go back in here. Emission put to 5 maybe. The only thing that I'm missing right now is we can't see his face from the main dude. So that's one thing I want to change. Let's put this to 10. That's probably better. We can still change the... Yeah, that's better. So one thing that we're still missing is we could probably put in 2 windows. So we go in here, make one cut right there, another cut right there, make a very small window. We need one more cut in here. Okay. move this over here, remove these two, face. Now we have some light coming through. Oh, actually we don't. What we have to do first is go in here, select these edges in here as well. Extrude, scale them out so they have some thickness. Oh, we have to put it back to median. There you go. Okay. Next up we need another sunlight, or we could actually use a spotlight. Put that over here. Rotate it in the x-axis. There you go. Now we should see some light being cast into the scene. Maybe put this to 100. That's better. Maybe rotate it a little bit more to this side. Now we have some fine-tuning of this. Oh, his eyes of the lights. Now we should probably be lighter. Maybe put this to 1000. That's pretty bright. So let's put this to 500. That should be enough. Now we go into his face. The eyes. Come on. 1 minute 35. This one first. I only need the transmission. Where is it? Human basement. No, eye. Transmission. Go into the iris. We don't need this texture diffuse. We just bring in a emission. Shader emission. Make this maybe 5 strength. Go back to the first one. Remove subsurface. There you go. Maybe make this surface black. Okay, that's not really working. 40 seconds. Okay. That's better. We can apply the same colors to these dudes. Maybe not in... Oh, it's already applied. Perfect. Yeah, that looks pretty good. 12 seconds. I don't really know what I want to do now. That's all I could probably do. We could probably zoom in a little bit. Nah. Yeah. Okay. That is it. So let's go into the rendering. Save it. There you go. That was pretty quick. Took the whole time, maybe a little overtime, cheating a little bit. Yeah, now let's see what we can get out of this in Photoshop. I'm gonna do a quick sketch render first to do the post-processing, and then we're gonna go over to Photoshop and finish the image after we've rendered the final image, of course. Before that, I'm gonna do the quick sketch render. Let's remove the countdown, not needed anymore. Where's my image? There it is. Oh, pretty quick, that's good. I didn't make the mistake that I did yesterday where I just increased the vertex count of all the models by like times 10. Okay. Of course it's pretty small, so we can't really see that many details. Let's go to object. No, we have to switch window, go to this window, put in a little bit of glare. Let's see, what about putting this down to 0.1? Just putting the extreme in. It doesn't look too bad actually. We get some nice glowing around these glow sticks. Also the lights. His face is not really glowing, it's probably too small, but that looks pretty good. Lens distortion we don't need, so let's keep it there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Let's save it and render the final image. Do we have my presets? Nope, my presets got deleted when I was updating or upgrading to the newest version. Put this times 8, I guess. And then this one 100%. Save it and render. Shouldn't take as long as yesterday, so I don't have to talk for 20 minutes straight while we're waiting for this to finish. Yesterday was just way too many vertices for the type of image I did. Basically, the background had so many vertices that were just unnecessary, which bumped up the render time by like so much. 7 minutes isn't too bad. Yesterday we had like 25 minutes or 20 minutes, so 7 minutes isn't too bad. Yeah, it's always like kind of hard to really see the end result in the render, because if we then go to Photoshop, we can really bump up the contrast and really increase the the blacks and the whites, so we can get some nice contrast between the two. So it's always a little bit harder to see it in the render, because it's always like a little bit more shallow in terms of depth. But yeah, we could maybe talk a little bit more about geometry nodes. So as far as I know, geometry nodes are not only used for so I don't really know. When I was like making my thumbnail and my title, I got confused. I didn't really know which one it is. Is it like geometry nodes or is it particle nodes? Because as far as I know, at least from the things I saw, the two can basically do the same thing. But I think what geometry nodes are more specialized for is actually using meshes and then modifying them using nodes. And with particle nodes, of course, you work with particles and can determine their, I guess, like their behavior and look with these with nodes, rather than this this interface on the right or wherever you have it. So yeah, it'd be interesting what we can actually do with the geometry nodes. I saw someone making a tree that was like building itself up using these nodes, so you can probably also animate them. I think it's always easier to animate stuff using nodes, because it's just easier to find the correct value to change to actually make the animation like work. Yeah, maybe we'll at least do an environment. I don't really know. Maybe we will even use an old like asset and then work off of that. We'll see. Probably the easiest like thing you can do with them is using them for like ground, and then just using the I don't know, like using the nodes to scatter an object, for example, on another object, on the surface of another object, so you can like put different stones or like rocks on the ground, or like some sand rock ground, some desert rock or desert ground, scatter them around so you can see different like a good nice distribution, a very natural looking distribution. That's probably one thing you can do with them. This way you don't have to, I mean, you could probably do the same with particles. So I'm quite interested to see what else can you do with it, because what I usually did, or what I did so far, what you can also see in the thumbnail of this stream, at least on YouTube, is that I used particles for that image. So you can see all these balls flying around, and they're being connected like as if they were liquids. They're basically metaball, or they are metaballs. I applied that metaball to particles, and then I scattered like thousands of particles into a cube, so they're all scattered around in that cube, and then the particles that were scattered in that cube will be replaced by metaballs, and then the metaballs, of course, if they're close enough, will connect using this weird connection, like watery connection. Yeah, I'm quite interested to see. It's always nice to dive into something new, whether that is a new tool, a new program, or overall just being able to increase or no, hold on, not further, like increase the knowledge of the program that you have. So we're probably going to do like multiple of these geometry node streams, just figuring them out some more. Maybe I'm going to look at a few tutorials so we can maybe do a more specified stream where we're actually going to try to model a specific object or like a specific animation, maybe even. Yeah, but today we're just gonna look into it and maybe try to get something done. I'm not expecting like crazy things to be able to, or that we're gonna create crazy like models or animations. I'm just trying to figure that stuff out on my own, which is, I think, a pretty fun experience, or will be a fun experience. In 3 minutes until then, we have to wait for this render to finish. So of course, as always, I would have liked to have a little bit more time just to maybe flesh out the corridor a little bit more, the walls. Also maybe bring in a few textures to make it a little bit more like detailed. The only thing you can basically focus on in these quick sketches, if you only have 30 minutes, is basically the base, the overall, what do you call it? The overall composition. So you can't really focus on stuff like details that much because you only have 30 minutes. And especially if you do like different dudes with multiple poses that you then have to pose individually, of course that'll take some time. So the first half basically was used up by just posing these dudes. Of course they're the main like the main focus of the image. That's why we can spend so much time on them. Maybe I would have probably liked to make the corridor a little bit shorter. The focus is pretty far away, pretty much in the background almost, and maybe putting the camera a little bit higher, and then this way we could probably see a little bit above or over the shoulder of the first guy that's running away, so you can see the dudes in the background a little bit better. That would have probably been a little bit, or like would have probably been one of the changes I would have made. I would have done. And yeah, the base thing that I wanted to sell in this is basically just he's trying to escape, and you can see on the floor that there's light coming from behind the camera, so this suggests that there's some sort of exit. He's running away from the dudes, and the dudes are are chasing him with these glowing sticks. that was the main idea behind this. Of course, still sticking to this black and white theme, I want to focus more on lighting and values and composition rather than colors and all that. I think I want to focus more on that now, because the first 50 images were more about really colorful images, really like sensory overload with all these colors and glowing and emission and all that good stuff. So right now I want to focus more on the actual composition. That's why I went to this style. So we it's done. Perfect. Let's save that image in my... Oh, I went back. There you go. PNG. Call it the same. Quick sketch day 51. 1920 by 1920. PNG, save it. There you go. Okay. Yeah, we can move over to Photoshop once I've put my image in there. Let me just go back. Games art, create. Nope, not in there. Quick sketches. Day 51. So yeah, as I said I think on Instagram I said it as well. I'm probably gonna make a small like collection or series of these black and white images to yeah, improve on the aspects I mentioned before a little bit more. So let's see. First thing first, let's see if we find a good color lookup to make it a little bit more dark. Bump up the blacks, bump up the whites, so we have a nice contrast between the two. That looks pretty good. I think I'm going to use the one I asked for somewhere. I think it's this one, okay. Fuji Reala 500D. Now we bring in maybe contrast. Bump up the contrast a little bit more. Okay. I also want to go in here and use lighting. Maybe change that. Not too high, otherwise we're gonna lose some detail in his face. Oh, we can also see that the depth of field is in the foreground. Is it actually? But I haven't. No, it's correct. I don't even think depth of field is active. Nope, it's not. Okay, perfect. So there's nothing wrong. We can. Oh, that's the best. That we can see the glowing eyes in the darkness right there. Okay. Let's see. We could probably. Let's bring in a selective color correction. Go to white, maybe bump up the whites a little bit more. Not too high, then we go to gray. Make this wider. Oh, actually. Maybe a little bit darker. More like that. Then we go to black. Bump the black. Oh, not too dark. Oh, nice figures in the dark. Okay. That's looking pretty good. Okay. Let me see what happens if I just go in here and make this closer. What if I make this a ratio of 1:1? Put this closer like this. That's better, I think. We can still see the light on the ground, but he is more in the foreground now. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, that's not too bad. Okay, perfect. So then I'm gonna bring in my good old smudge or fingerprint texture to make it look a little bit more gritty and like an old photo. Resources, my good old textures. There it is. Probably should grab some more of these so we have a different texture or like multiple textures we can use for these. I don't remember which setting I used yesterday. I think it was this one. That looks pretty good. And then maybe bring down the intensity. Also increase the size. Okay. Like this, maybe. Okay. Let's see, should we use clouds? That's the question. Let's see. Let's see what clouds look like. Filter, render filter, difference clouds. I don't really know if that really looks good. I'm not quite sure. I don't think so though. No. Let's just... What we could do though is make this a little bit smaller. I'm gonna show you what I mean. Let's see which one looks the best. They all look... Oh, that looks pretty good, I think. Like this maybe. We want to make this... I want to make this smaller. So we have a nice streak over there. What I'm gonna do then, I'm gonna bring in a mask. Remove this part so only the lights are basically cloudy. So if we remove this, you can see it's not as cloudy at the top. That's what I'm trying to get. Maybe make this a little bit smaller. Bring back some white in here, so these ones are also a little bit more cloudy. There you go. Not too crazy, just a little bit more. Makes it a little bit more stylized. What does it look like on the windows? No, doesn't really fit. How about copying this and then putting it on the ground? No. No, I don't think that's really helping the image very much. So nope, that's not gonna happen. Let's see if we could bring in a flare, a lens flare. Put this on this stick right there. Make it a different one, maybe this one, or yeah, let's use this one. Okay. Then I'm gonna go in here, of course, make it smaller first. 25% maybe. Oh, that's still too much. 10% maybe. Oh. I don't know. It's so punctual, that's the problem. The stick is like long. the flare is like punctual, which doesn't really work for this. So let's not use that. Let's remove that. Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna hide it. That's better. Okay, yeah, that's probably all I'm gonna do. I can't really put in any textures in here. I don't think that's gonna look right. I also can't do stuff like I don't have any... The filter gallery is just not working. I don't really know why. Let me just quickly pull up Streamlabs on my phone so I have my event list right there. Okay. Loading. Perfect. Okay. I think I'm going to keep it like this. Should we... Do I have any other... Let's see if I have any other texture that we could use. Just to see. Maybe we do. Beach sand? Let's see. No. Doesn't really look like anything. Beach sand 2 is with the waves. It definitely doesn't help. This one, no. We could probably use asphalt. Let's see what this look like. Put this, maybe invert this. Perfect. And then put this to this one. Okay. Hold on. That's not right. We should probably put it down there. But why are these two below these settings? I should probably put them higher. Okay. Yeah, that's better. Let's put the asphalt over the smudges. Let's change the setting maybe to something else. Oh, that's looking pretty good. Does it actually change anything? No, it's just making the image a little brighter, which doesn't really help. Why is there... Oh, okay. Okay, then make this less strong. Just a little bit more gritty. Yeah. What about bringing in a thingy? Okay. That's looking pretty good, I think. Looking pretty good. We get some more texture if we remove these two. Completely white, no real like image detail or like filter on it. Now with this, first this and these fingerprints, and this adding this will give it some more noise. Let's bump up this black a little bit more, maybe. I don't want to have too much noise. That should be better. Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's better. Okay, perfect. Can we bump up the whites a little bit, or is that too much then? Lighting. Yeah, that's the maximum we can go for. Looks pretty good. Okay. Let's hold on. Let's save this, and then we can export it, and I'm gonna upload it. While I'm uploading, I will play my good old month 1 compilation, maybe with today's exploration of geometry nodes. We can actually, oh, hold on, I'm so dumb. Now you can see you can see the changes I've made. Hold on. That's the first image, like this. Then I brought in the color lookup, brightness, contrast, lighting, color correction, selective color correction. I then brought in these clouds to make these lights a little bit more cloudy. I then brought in the fingerprint smudges and also an asphalt texture to bring just a little bit more noise into the scene, which I think looks pretty good. Yeah, save that. Okay, it's still saving. Okay, perfect. Let's export it. I think I've already exported it, right? No, I didn't. Okay, perfect. Go back to my projects. Quick sketches number 151. There you go. So as I said before, I'm gonna play my month 1 compilation. While that's running, I'll upload my quick sketch. Then, as I said also before, maybe with the geometry nodes, with our new skill that we're gonna acquire, I can use that for the new compilation. Maybe we can play around with that in there. Let's save that real quick, and there you go. Okay, let's make a new scene, general, and then we can work in here for the geometry nodes. First of all, of course, I'm gonna upload my image. So let me switch back to Blender. I'm gonna put my image into my phone, upload it, and then while that's running, the compilation is running, and then we can dive right into geometry nodes. Okay. Perfect. So while that's hold on, I'm gonna pause the music and hope you're enjoying the compilation. I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, perfect. So let's bring back the music. Da, da, da. Perfect. Okay. We're ready for some geometry nodes. So let's dive right into some geometry nodes. Let's see. So, okay, as I said before, of course, I haven't used geometry nodes at all. So all I know is that there's this new window, geometry node editor. Let's switch to it, and we have a new interface. We can see we can make a new, I guess, like setting, node setting. So we can have multiple. Let's make a new one, and we have two connecting nodes. Looks similar to groups. It's of course called group output and input. Okay. So let's see, what do we have here? Attribute, color ramp, compare, fill, math, mix, randomize. Okay, color, another color ramp, geometry, join geometry, transform, input. Subdivision surface. Okay. Point. Utilities, Boolean math, clamp float, compare, map range, math, vector, group, length layout. Okay. So I guess let's just make let's see if my theory was correct, that we can basically scatter an object onto the surface of another object. Let's bring in a plane, and then I'll see if I can scatter this ball or this sphere onto these. Actually, I'm going to use a cube. I think that's better to see. If we're going to change the rotation, we can see that with this cube as well. Okay, we have a cube. Let's apply the scale in here as well. Okay, let's see what we can do now. Where's my... Oh, okay, so you apply the... Oh, it's basically like a shader, so you can apply the geometry node to an object. Okay. Oh, doesn't work. Hello? Why does it not select it? Okay, well, let's make a new one, I guess. So if we switch to this one, yeah, this one doesn't have the same geometry node setup. Okay, let's see, what do we have here? We have input. I guess we should input something. How about an object info? What do we have here? Oh, an object. Let's see, what if we select this? Put this in there. We have this cube. Okay, original. Location, rotation, scale, geometry. Okay, now we have to probably put this in there somehow. Attribute. No. Vector, utilities. Map range, no. Mesh. Point distribute. Looks pretty good. We have this geometry can go in there. And then the geometry in there as well. Oh. Okay. Interesting. Now we've created a point distribution. We can set the density to bring in more until we fill the whole plane. Okay. A density attribute. I guess if we go in here, make a new vertex group. Let's subdivide this a few times. 10 times. And then we let's mute this for a second. Oh. Then we go in here and maybe select like a few boxes. We can probably then use weight painting for the attribute. Let's see. Okay, set this assign. Call this density. Go back. Go in here, unmute this. Can we then go in here, attribute? No, input value, not a value, vertex group. Can we somehow use a vertex group? Or the vertex group? Or what could we do in there? Density attribute, it's blue. What is blue? Input? No, input is gray, okay. That's for the density max. Utilities, clamp, that's gray as well. Boolean math, oh, that's pink, okay. group vector, combine XYZ is purple or bluish, color is yellow. Another transform is, nope, that's let's put that in there. Let's see what that does. Now we can change that. So we move it. Okay, that's pretty simple. Rotation, pretty simple. Okay. Scale, of course, the same. Oh, hold on. But the difference is if we scale it up, it's the points are not like getting wider. The points are staying the same, but it's gonna just add more points. So if we remove this back or set this back to scale 1, we have less points because it has to fill less surface. I can't even select this. Why can't I can't select the plane anymore? Wait, hold on. Not even when I click these points. That's kind of weird. Where's my cube? It's right there. Okay. Wait, hold on. I cannot. Okay. So I have to select it in the list, I guess. Okay. We don't need the transform option right now. Can we use a texture in here? No, I think we could probably do displacements using other objects or let's see. Join geometry. Oh, so you can add two objects. So what if I go in here and select this object, geometry, and then join these together and then do the point distribution? Okay. Now we have the cube in the center. Okay, and now that means if we bring in a... Where's my mapping node? Vector? No. Where's my... Which transformation did I have there? No, where's my transformation setting? Mesh, triangulate input, vector, utilities, translate, no. Where's my trend? There it is, transform. Put that in there. Now if we move this over, we can move the cube. So we can add more object into one basically. So now we've added the cube to the plane. So if we remove this, we can see the cube is now part of the plane. What about relative? Okay. Interesting. Okay. So I guess when I put these three in here, they will place this cube right on this, like where this one is, I guess. Location. Oh, translation? What is translation? So if I scale this down, this is not going to scale down. What about going in here? Rotation, scale. Aha. Okay, okay. Now we've connected this one to this cube by connecting the rotation scale to this transform. Let's bring that back. What does it change anything if we bring these two in there and then change it to relative? Oh, okay. So relative to this object. So if I put this object in the center. No. Why is it like next to it now? Oh, that's why. There you go. Now they're both inside of each other. That means if I go in here, nope, in here, remove the rotation, I'm rotating this cube. Oh. Okay, so relative keeps the transformations in mind, even if I remove them from the transformation node or disconnect them. So if I go to original and then I rotate it, you can see the cube stays the same. It doesn't like it doesn't follow the rotation I'm giving it right now. Okay. It only follows these rotations if we bring in the relative option. Okay. I want to bring in the point distribution. Let's see what we can do. Density attribute seed. Yeah, we can just change the distribution of these points. Random poison disk. Okay. Density max. Okay. What about putting this to... What's max? Oh, so you can change the distance, the minimal distance, and the density maximum. So if you put this to something pretty high, and then change the distance, you can see you can set a certain distance that these particles have to be from each other. Okay. Interesting. Let's put it back to random. We can work with this now. Let's put this to 100. If we scale this up, this is not going to change, right? Yeah. What if we scale this up and then apply the scale? Now it's going to change. Okay. So what else can we do? So now we've added the cube to the plane as an object. So it's going to follow the same string of nodes. Because it's part of the plane now. Geometry, join geometry, color. We can change the color. Okay. What about... What else do we have? So color seems pretty simple. Geometry seems pretty simple. Because you can transform it and join it. Attribute. Compare. Greater than attribute. Okay. That seems like high level stuff. I still need to level up a little bit more until I can do that stuff. So let's remove that. Let's see what else do we have here. Map range. Okay. Interesting. Vector, combine separate, point. So what do we have in this point option? Of course, we also have a mesh. Edge split, okay, point instant, point rotate, point scale. So what if we bring in point rotate, put this into the geometry. Now we can rotate this, I guess. Nope. Wait, do they rotate? No, they don't. They look like two-dimensional objects. Do they? What if I put this to smooth? That's not, I mean, too flat. Nope, still smooth. They look like two-dimensional objects that just always look in your direction, so you can't actually see that it's just an object, like a two-dimensional object. Object point. Nope. Axis angle. Nope. Okay, I guess let's remove that for now. Point scale. Type attribute vector. Doesn't do anything. Okay. Interesting. So my idea is that you can somehow apply an object to the points. Let's remove the cube for now. Let's remove this. Okay. So density max, density attribute. Okay. So this one, there's no option where we can apply an object or apply an object to the particles in this node. So there has to be another one, if that's what you can do in here. Distribute. Okay, now it's completely gone. Okay, interesting. Density max, I guess. Random portion disk. So I guess we can't use both. Point distribute, oh, it's the same node. Okay, now I get it. Okay, what else do we have? Point. Align rotation to vector. Well, you can't see the rotation right now. input object info. But the problem is I first have to have any... Oh, instance? Oh, hold on. I think we found it. So now we bring in the cube. Aha, now we found the node I was looking for. So now we have applied the cube to the particles or to the points. Of course, it's just a mess right now, so we have to change a few settings. What we probably can do now is use the point scale option, put that in there. Factor, let's put this to vector. Now if you bring that down, that does nothing. Perfect. Attribute, we can put in a factor. That's not really what I'm looking for right now. What happens if I scale this down? That does nothing. What if I apply it now? That helps. Okay, but that's not really what I'm looking for right now. What about bringing a object info? There's no orange in here, so there has to be an orange node somewhere, or like a node with an orange plug or socket. So none of these actually have that, if I'm seeing that correctly. So let's go to color. Those have yellow. Combine RGB, yep. Geometry, join geometry is green. Transform is green as well. Input object info, nope, there's just a orange socket. It's the same node, I think. No, almost the same. Mesh edge split. Oh, we have pink. We get more and more of these colors. Random float, gray and green. Yeah, so we have teal and we have green, so that's interesting. Mesh input, no, value, of course, is just green, and gray, and vector is purple. Mesh boolean is green, edge split, another green and pink. Subdivision surface is green and pink, teal, green and pink. Triangulate, teal and green. Point, rotation to vector, fully green with a little bit of purple and gray. Let's just go through all of them. We're just gonna speed run this. Oh, there was one, but that's just a socket. Nope. Rotate, nope. Scale, nope. Separate, nope. Translate, nope. Utilities, Boolean math. That's, oh, okay. Utilities are pink, okay. Clamp is gray. Float compare is pink. Map range, gray. And math is also gray. Vector is... Wait, but how do you get orange? There's no orange... Okay. Can we plug in something in here? Wait. But we can't go higher. How do we... Okay. Interesting. Now we have an object input right there. Let's see. Let me drink something real quick. Stay hydrated. Okay, back to business. So, I guess you can switch between collection and object. Collection just means, I guess, the object, the collection you can have in your blend scene, in your view layer. I'm not going to use collection right now. Actually, I'm gonna try something. Let's make a new collection. You can see what I'm doing right now, but I'm gonna call this new collection test. I'm gonna put the cube in this test chamber or collection. Then I'm gonna bring in a sphere as well. Make it smaller, apply. Okay, now let's bring in one more. How about a cylinder? Basic shapes, apply, scale, and then we go back to the plane. Now we can actually select it in the viewport because there's actually a mesh applied to it. So now we can go in here. Let's use a collection. Test. Oh, wait, what? Okay. Why is it scattered in 3 different directions? Okay. But why is it there? Why is it mirrored? So now we have, when I use collection, I have basically okay, so when I use the collection option, it uses the plane, it duplicates the plane, I guess, but it duplicates it twice for the same object. Okay, let's put it back to object, I guess. Let's just use the cube. Let's bring it back. I'm just gonna use the cube. Put the cube back into geometry, the plane as well. I don't need my test collection. Okay. So next up, what else do we have here? Point scale. So I guess there's no, and there's also this bright blue. Okay. Okay, let's see what else we have. Let's go back into point scale, point rotate, point separate. What is separate? We can put in a geometry to put out 2 geometries. Okay, interesting. Translate. But of course it's not plugged in. Nope, does nothing. Okay. How about utilities? So we've now successfully applied the cube to these particles. Let's make them a little bit smaller, or let's reduce the amount of particles we have in here. We don't need that many. That's better like this maybe. Okay, we can put it probably to poison this. I don't want to make them intersect each other. Density max higher. Let's put this to 100. Then maybe decrease the distance. I mean, wait, yeah, decrease the distance minimum. Okay, perfect. So now we have some nice cubes. Now let's see if we can maybe change their level. What about going in here, using a face and pulling that up? Oh, okay. So that means if we go in here and use a displacement, put that over here. Aha. Now we can make a new texture. Go in here. Oh, before I do that though, I need a subdivision surface as well. Put that to simple. Maybe like 5, maybe even 6. Let's put that to 5. 5 should be enough for this. Then I go back to my texture. Let's use clouds. There you go. Oh, hello. I mean, they're at least rotated, but they're still like following the vector of where they are applied to, or where they are sitting on. So if I hide my modifier, you can see if a cube would be like sitting right there, it would take the vector or the normal of this face into account and keep, or like take, like use the same normal, which gives us this illusion of rotation, but actually it's just I mean, it's kind of rotated, but it's not really a change of rotation. It's more a change of the normal. Let's bring back the modifier. Okay. Can we... What do we go in here? Where's my... Wait. I don't... Oh, so you have to select it in here. Okay. Interesting. Can I go in here, use a geometry, join geometry? Would that use a reroute? Geometry in there. Put that down there. Then we can join these two and then put this in there. So now we have both. We have the plane and we have the cubes. This way we can still like see both, which is really helpful, because if we want to distribute something on this ground, we can do that using like the join geometry node. That's pretty helpful. Okay, so now we have the ground and also the cubes. If we put that to smooth, only the ground will be smooth. The mesh, if we put this cube to smooth, all the other cubes will be smooth as well. Okay, got it. Okay. So does that mean... No, that doesn't work. What if I... Let's reduce the amount of geometry, or like cubes, maybe just like these. That's pretty good. Then I go in here and use a Boolean modifier. Where's my Boolean? It's probably in utilities. Boolean math. Okay. No, hold on. That's not... Oh, that's okay. What can I put in there again? Utilities, right? No. Yeah. Clamp. Nope. Load compare. Less than A, B. Okay. So let's remove the displacement for a second. I want to simulate these height differences and rotation differences without using a displacement map. So now we only have a flat ground and these cubes. So let's see if we can change the rotation without having to use a displacement modifier. I'm wondering if displacement maps in nodes actually also change the geometry of these, or the location of the cubes. Let's see if that actually is the case. So the easiest way to do that would probably be to go into the shader, make a new one. We bring in a... I think this color changed. The color is a little bit different of these principal BSDF node. I need a vector displacement, put that in there. Then I just use a good old gradient texture. I have to apply. Let's see how that looks. Okay, that's good. I have to set the setting from bump only to displacement and bump. And now we can see a nice like a slope, but the cubes are not changing their position, so that doesn't work. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Okay, so if you want to displace the height, you could probably either do it in here in the geometry node editor, Shift F3 also, so we can switch between geometry nodes, shader, compositor, and what is this? What is it? Texture nodes. Okay. Work brush line type. Okay. Okay. So let's see if we can change the height without using a displacement modifier. So I guess we would have to use, or actually, do we? Point scale, that's good. So we can now change factor. Do we have a blue input? What about using a value? Doesn't work, okay. What is blue again? Nope. Vector is blue, I mean purple. That's pink. That's green. Mesh. Nope. Input. Nope. Nope. What is blue? Tell me what is blue. I need it. Color ramp. Nope. Combine RGB. Nope. Separate RGB. Nope. Attribute. That's also blue, but only as a socket. Compare. Nope. Fill. Nope. What is attribute? Math. Nope. Mix. Nope. Oh man. Okay. Randomize. Oh, hold on. Nope. Still green. Vector math. Nope. What about attribute randomize? What is an attribute? It has the same color as geometry. But how do we... We can put in an attribute in there, but I haven't seen any attribute outputs. Huh. Clamp. There's something I'm missing. There are multiple colors that aren't even in here. There's no orange node, output node, and no... Wait, there should be, right? With the input object info? No, it's still... Okay. So I guess if we then use this cube, let's remove the cube from here and then bring in the geometry into the orange node. Nothing happens. Okay. Interesting. So object info doesn't work. Excuse me. Doesn't work in there. That's gray. So bright green is a seed value. But how do we get seed values in there? And how do we get colors in there? Can we put in an image? Wait, what about applying a texture? Wait, there's already a texture applied to this, right? No, it's not. Oh, hold on. Let's bring in the gradient texture. Let's put that into the base color. So we have it in here. There you go. Okay. Now if we go in here, geometry nodes. So now it has color. Does that mean it needs a vector color, or vertex color, or can we use a texture that is applied as a shader? So there's, oh no, I'm wrong. Do we have any settings in here? Object, of course, let's remove that. Height value, item. No, there's nothing in here. There's no new interface on the right. Is there? Maybe in here? No. Okay. Let's see. So we have these three that make a... So these three basically just... You select this, grab this cube and scatter it all over this plane. So the next thing would be to apply a rotation or location change to these cubes. And they should have individual location changes. They shouldn't be all, they shouldn't all lift up the same, like all of them. So they should, like some should go down, some should go up. That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. Inputs, random float, min max, that's just a value we can implement, like input. Object info is just location, rotation, scale. Okay, now I can use the color ramp, but the factor and all that, I have to grab a color first. But there's no color. One thing we could try is using a Boolean math. Wait, no, that's the wrong one. Mesh, Boolean. Then I bring in my cube. Where's my cube? Particle instance, right, with the cube. Put that in there. Put the plane itself in there. So they now intersect each other. Let's put that to intersect. Yeah, let's keep that for now. Let's make this a wire. So it looks like this. How does that look like? Nope, we have to put it in there. Okay, intersect. What about union? Okay. What about difference? Well, that's not really what I'm looking for. So my idea was I wanted to cut out holes using the cubes I've applied to the plane. What about putting this over here into the plane? Does that work? So now if I go to the plane, put this to intersect maybe, or to union, nope. Difference, nope. Okay. Let's see, input mesh. So we can apply subdivision. So if you put this in there, geometry, and then geometry into geometry. Oh no, hold on. We have to put this in there. Use creases, boundary smooth. Okay. Let's first change this the shape, like the cube, to something else. Let's go in here and make a new geometry node. First things first, what I'm gonna do is go to input. What I want to see is actually subdivision. Let's put that in there. Now it got some subdivision. Okay, perfect. Let's put that to level 3. Now we have some nice round cubes. Okay, some spheres. Boundary smooth. What does that do? Nothing. At least not for now. Smooth UVs. Okay. Okay. Let's keep it flat. Okay, now they're round, so we can make these a little bit more stony. I guess you could probably combine the shader with modifiers and you can combine the shader of these individual objects with the modifiers and the geometry nodes to create what you want. So we could probably apply a displacement modifier or a displacement map to this cube, so it looks more like a pebble or like a stone, not completely round, a little bit oval maybe. Give it some more randomness, would probably be better. But now we've applied a subdivision to this cube. So next up, what I want to do is I still want to know how I can change the height. I guess the only way would be to use a displacement like this, I guess, but then you can see the displacement for this plane as well. So the point scale does nothing right now. What about putting this to 2? Nothing. 4 or 5? Nope. Okay, well, that's not what I'm looking for then. What about using this? So if you put this in there and then increasing the translation, I guess, we can move the objects to the side. Okay. So now we have separated the plane from the points, I guess, or the spheres. We can then also rotate them, but not individually, only as a whole plane. So I guess if we want to use point, hold on, point, align rotation to vector, okay, point distribute, that's the first one I have in there. Point distribute, point instance, oh, that's adding an object to the points. Point rotate, let's put that in there, maybe that works now. So now they are back. Let's remove the subdivision in here first. Then we go in here, remove the modifier. So they all have the same rotation, or rather normal again. So if we change that now, nothing happens. Vector attribute, object point, attribute vector, doesn't work. That's kind of weird. Yeah, that is kind of weird. Rotating this cube doesn't work either. So I guess if we would go in here and use a input object info, put the rotation in there, and then we rotate this, that doesn't work as well. Okay. That's interesting. Probably we have to go to object and then Euler, rotation into rotation. Nope. What about applying the rotation and then going back in here? Relative doesn't work either. Oh. Haven't like applied this object info to the cube, or like applied the cube to this object info. Let's see if changing these values does anything. Nope, does nothing. I'm not quite sure how so let's try one thing though. So what if we use a sphere, then we go in here, we bring in some more subdivisions. I need more. Give me more. Okay, that should be enough. Okay. So now let's bring in some more particles or points. Oh no. Let's save that. This project getting kind of... Oh, hello. Getting kind of risky right now. Let's call it first geometry nodes experiment. Okay. That's the question now. How do we actually use this? So one thing I have to do is first increase the value. Let's put it to 1. So I'm gonna give myself like 20 minutes more, and if I can't figure out anything more, then I'm gonna probably look into the Blender help manual or whatever it's called. What I'm gonna do first though is go in here, remove this. Oh my god, it's so laggy. Okay, make a new one. Call this... Jesus. Hello? Can I rename this? Everything's freezing? No, it's not. Hello? I mean, call a group then, I guess. Okay, well, we'll just keep it group. We go in here, not into edit mode. I guess it's so slow because we have this applied. Let's remove the particles for now. Okay, so what I wanted to do is go into weight paint mode. Everything should be red, right? Or blue. So, okay, I'll show you what I want to do. So my plan is now to apply a proximity weight modifier, so that where the sphere is should be red weight paint, and where the sphere isn't should be blue weight paint. So let's make the sphere wired first so we can see through. Then we go in here, we have to apply a new modifier, which will be vertex weight proximity. We put this in front of the displacement. Okay, hopefully, okay. Target object, this one, sphere. Okay, vertex group. So now we say the sphere should affect the group, vertex group. Proximity mode object, or should it be geometry? Yeah, we should definitely switch from object mode to weight paint mode so we can see the changes. Okay, now vertex edge face. I'm kind of... Should we apply the subdivision? Oh, I know why it's so slow, because we have 5 subdivision on top of the subdivision we've applied using the edit mode. So now it should be smooth. Okay. We had basically 10 subdivision or so applied. It's quite a lot of vertices. So now we have 8,000 vertices. We shouldn't lag anymore. Vertex, edge, face, vertex. Let's go to vertex. Fall off. Okay. Lowest. Does nothing. Highest. Does nothing. Nope. What about switching this to object? So I've used this before. I can't really remember exactly how it works. So I'm just experimenting right now. Influence. Mask vertex group. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Proximity mode should be geometry. So the geometry will be taken into account. Lowest should be 0 meters. So basically on top of the geometry. Highest should be 1. Face, nope, doesn't work. Vertex. So you should see, I mean, we could try it now. What about going in here into the displacement, setting this to applying this, and then putting the vertex group into the group? Nothing happens. So everything's blue. I think we have to invert the color in the vertex paint. So, not vertex paint, weight paint. Wait, hold on. Okay, we still have, okay. Let's weights invert these. Okay, doesn't work, I guess. What about just painting in here? Oh, now you can see it. Okay, so if it's red, it works. You can now see the proximity effect working actually. So now everywhere around the vertices you can see it's getting blue. So now we have to go in here into the modifier of this plane. Lowest should be okay. Lowest, highest. Oh yeah. Okay, so if the lowest is okay, perfect. So highest should be close to the object, and lowest should be further away. That means blue means lowest, highest means red. So if we want the red to be on top of the object, we should put highest to 0. So it looks something like this. Maybe change that to object. Does it work? No, it doesn't work. Why does it not work? Oh, wait, what? Oh, so now it's only taking into account the pivot point, I guess, which doesn't really help us. We have to use the geometry, so we have to switch it back from object to geometry. The only thing that I want to do is that I want to use the internal volume as well, but that doesn't work. And we only have geometry or object. So I guess we should use face is basically the same. Vertex should be now the one we use. So I guess we could probably just put the lowest a little bit further away, so everything in the center will be applied as well, or will be affected. Let's see the weight paint. It's still kind of blue, so let's put the lowest a little bit higher, more like this. So now to bring back the proximity, oh, we can probably change this here. Custom. Okay, so aha, we put this right there. No, it doesn't work. I guess it could work if we keep it like this, maybe. Okay, and then normalist weights doesn't, yeah, let's just use that. So now what if we, so it's now like a huge proximity, but if we go in here and scale this down, it should also shrink down the proximity size. So now we have this smaller size that we can now move around, and this bump will follow this this sphere. So let's use that for the displacement of this plane, and then applying the geometry, the cubes to this plane. So let's bring back the, what I want to change is I want to remove the texture, so it's only like gonna affect it like this. But I want to change the curve, I mean the curve a little bit. Let's put this back to linear, maybe. No, maybe not linear. What else do we have here? I mean, I guess we could just bump this lower. Okay, then we go in here, maybe put this linear to something sharper. Okay, make this smaller. So we have just a small bump. Perfect. And then we could probably also use a shrink wrap modifier, but I'm just going to use that. I think that's a more smooth transformation rather than using shrink wrap. So now we bring back the geometry, and you can see if we move this around, they twitch a little bit. That's probably because we are, if we bump up or like put in a bump, the difference or the distance between these particles changes or points, which means that they adjust their distance between each other. So if we go back to the geometry settings and put this from Poisson disk to random, we can see way more, of course, when we put the density max lower. Now we get a little bit fewer of them. We can change the seed if we want to, so they're not all intersecting. Maybe a better distribution, more like this maybe. And then going in here and moving this, we can see they're not twitching anymore. They're rotating though, because they're gonna adhere to the normal, or they're gonna like they're still keeping the normal in mind, and they're just rotating because of that. Okay. But that doesn't really solve the issue I have. We still can't change the height of these particles. And another problem is that I kind of want to have them like distributed like evenly. The only problem with that is that then they twitch around. As you can see, if I move this ball again, they twitch a little bit. They jump around, which is kind of annoying. Because that's a good distribution, because they're not intersecting with each other, but you can't really use it because they're twitching around, at least if you're using it for a animation. So let's figure out, we have 10 minutes more roughly. Let's figure out if we can change their position individually. So I guess how you could do it is duplicate the plane. Duplicate the plane. Or we could bring in another plane. Let's make another plane, make it just the same scale. Move it over here. Then we can go in here and make a new object. Apply the plane. Where's my plane? Oh, there it is. Okay. we can then go in here and we have the plane in there. We can then join this geometry with the particles. And now it does nothing. Oh, now, okay, perfect. So now you can see the particles changed their position, but the plane stays still. That is because we were hiding the displaced plane, the original plane, and we're adding another new plane to this plane basically. So now the particles change their position, but the plane that we can see is still flat. Which should mean if we go in here, oh, hold on, into this plane, if we bring in another displacement map, displacement, don't use the weights. Hold on. Okay, so now it's applying the, oh, because I have to put it after. Oh, now. Okay, so now the plane is still flat, but all the cubes are being affected by the displacement modifier. So if I make this very, very small, maybe 0.1, they all have a kind of individual rotation. Because of the displacement of the original plane. So if we make this a little bit stronger, we can see they are rotated a little bit stronger. We can change the mid-level so they raise higher or lower. This way we can change their height using a displacement modifier. So I guess you can't do that in the geometry section as well. Where's my geometry? Oh, of course. Go in there. Nope, in there. So okay, so now what we've basically done is we have the main plane, which is basically over here. The main plane, we've applied points to that main plane. We've scattered points all over that plane. We then assigned this cube to these points. So the cube is basically replacing the points that are scattered all over the surface. Then we don't need this. Point rotate doesn't work right now. I haven't figured it out. And then what we basically did was we added another plane that we've added into the scene, which will serve as the flat ground, the flat plane. And we've joined that in with the cube particles or cube points. And to displace these cubes, we've basically applied a displacement modifier to the original plane that is hidden right now. So these cubes, if we change the displacement modifier, will follow the displacement map that is applied to the original plane that you can't see right now. Okay. Okay. So I guess the first thing we could do is just go in here into the cube. It also has geometry nodes applied. We can apply a subdivision so to make it a little bit more smooth, I guess. Okay, now it's a little bit more smooth. The only problem is we cannot use, of course we can't use displacement in here. So we could either do that in the shader or in the modifier. I think I'm going to use the modifier because it's more apparent in the viewport. Displacement. Now I'm going to apply a new texture. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to bring in a new empty plane axis, put that over here. Now I can apply, I set the coordinates to object, use this empty. So now if I apply the texture over here. It's already applied, right? Did it change? Ah, there you go. Wait, but you have to bring in a new texture, put this to clouds maybe. So we get the weird stone-like things, put this to smooth so it looks a little bit more natural. Let's change the texture a little bit, maybe increase the scale. That's better, more like this. Now we have a nice, more like stone, stone, this like shape. Then we can move this so it changes the texture, or it moves the texture on this object. The only problem, so what I wanted to try is if each individual point or sphere that is now on this plane will be affected individually by this object, but it seems not to be the case because they all look the same, so that doesn't work. Okay. Why is it displacing so weird? Such a weird displacement. Okay, now we have some some rocks on this plane. They all look the same, but only their rotation is different. They're not changing in height. I mean in rotation, which is probably because we have hidden the displacement. No, that's not the right one. No, the other displacement is still applied. Oh, okay, no. Oh, yeah, okay. They're still being affected by the displacement. You can see they changed their rotation, and I think also the height changes a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Put this back to 0.2. Okay, now we have some rocks on this ground. So, what else can we do? So we can use colors, I'm not quite sure how. We can, of course, join or add new geometries, so we can probably add like multiple stone types, so we have different kinds of stones lying on the ground. What else? Oh, wait, it's still applied. Okay. I deleted the cube, but it was still applied to the plane. Okay, that's interesting. That is very interesting. Oh, so it keeps it in mind, basically. Okay. Add a new join. You can, of course, transform it so they move somewhere else. Input, object info, of course. Just using the same that we've used in here. Adding this plane to the plane over here. Random float. We can set a min and max value. And then a seed, okay. Value vector. Okay. We can use a boolean to change something about this. Maybe what if we combine these two in the boolean node? Okay, now we can't see. What about changing this to a wireframe? Nope, there's nothing inside of these rocks. Union, nope. Difference. Still have to figure out how you use the boolean node. Doesn't really seem to work right now. What else? Edge split. Okay, what does that do? Hold on. Edge split. Wait, what? Oh, first I want to put this back to solid. Okay, so let's put that in there. I don't think that does anything because we can't see the plane itself. Wait, no, we can. We've combined these two objects into this one, so we should be able to use edge split. It changes something, but I'm not quite sure what it does. I've never used edge split. I think it's a modifier. Does nothing. Okay. Subdivision, of course we can apply subdivisions, I guess. Didn't work the first time, now it works. Okay, but it only works on the plane somehow. Doesn't work on the cube. Which is kind of weird. But okay. Maybe because it's not gonna it's not registering the sphere or the cube as an object that is part of the plane, but it's more seen as a point, which means that we can't subdivide points, which they're just points, they're not really geometry, so that's why they're not gonna change if we apply a subdivision modifier. What else? Triangulate. Okay. Well, you kind of see the changes only in the plane anyway, so we can't really see that. I mean, I'm trying. Prometheus. Hopefully you had a good day. Welcome. Trying to figure out some geometry nodes right now. Haven't used them before ever, so I'm just figuring them out as I go. I'll probably look into some sort of into the Blender manual in a second, just to get a little bit further. So what I wanted to try in this first try is just apply an object to the plane, and then trying to give these scattered objects a random rotation on this plane. So how I did this right now is I used I have a plane which is hidden. I applied applied points to the surface of this plane, and then I applied this object to these points. So if we remove the object, you can see the object is gone, and we can't see any points now. If we put this back, we can see now this object is basically everywhere where there are points. Then I also added a second plane, which is right here, to the first one, which serves as our ground. And to actually rotate these objects, we use a modifier. Because the first plane is hidden, we can apply modifiers and we can't see any displacement on this plane, because that's basically the plane up there. There's no modifier applied to this, so it's always just flat. So using a modifier on the hidden plane will rotate and also lift up these rocks basically. So at first I wanted to, yeah, it's not crazy. There aren't that many nodes anyway, so we have like a few in here, which basically have the same function but just a different way of using that function, or like yeah, of using it basically. We just have like 3 in there, geometry just 2, so it's pretty small, the amount. The only problem, or the only like weird thing that I've seen is you have different colors, of course, for different inputs, and there are some inputs that have no nodes. I mean, of course there has to be nodes that actually have these colors, but there's no node, for example, for this orange object input. There's no node where you can where there is an output which is orange, which is kind of weird. So I'm still trying to figure out what you put in there. Yeah, so you know what I did right there? Just scattering an object onto another object and then changing the rotation is way easier just using particles, which is what I've used before. So I'm still trying to figure out what is actually the benefit of using the geometry nodes. So either they're not really like fully implemented yet, or I don't see the full potential just yet. So I think what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go into the Blender manual just to read up on some stuff. Let's see, what is it called? Is it Blender manual? Blender manual geometry nodes. There it is. Let me switch the view. Da, da, da. Oh, I closed the window. Hold on. There it is. Okay. So we have the introduction. Let's see. Okay. It's a modifier that you can apply and also hide. It's works similar to shader nodes. Attribute color. Color socket. Yeah, there's also a color socket, but I haven't really found out how you can use that color socket. There's a color option right there with color ramp and all that, but you have to get the color from somewhere, and there's no node that has the color as an output, which is also what I'm still trying to figure out. Maybe you use it using the vertex color, but maybe not. Let's go back. Mesh, okay. Node categories, that's this. Next, attributes. Every vertex can have an associated number of vector. Okay. Attribute data types are converted implicitly where possible. Yeah, there's always a position and a radius. Radius. Okay. Yeah, time to learn some more. So my idea was today I just wanted to see how far I can get by just using them, or like trying to figure it out myself. Then I'm probably gonna look into them some more, look at a few tutorials, and then probably do another stream where I'm gonna do a small project where I'm actually gonna try to go somewhere. Of course, I'm trying to get something or have something in the end. I mean, we already have something. That's probably going to be the end result for today, but doesn't hurt to maybe get somewhere, like get a little bit further. Naming conventions. Okay, yeah, okay. Default value is 1. Rotation scale ID. Okay, name, okay. Point distribute node, okay. Welcome for the follow, thanks. Usually I'm not, like, usually I don't do, or haven't used that just yet. I usually do more like either projects every day, or every Monday I do some sort of tutorial. This is a kind of special day where I look more into a new function, and then tomorrow we're gonna do something different. Let's see. Vertex groups as attributes in the node tree. Okay, so you can use vertex groups that you can see right there as attributes, so that's a good thing to know. Oh, so hold on. Okay, that we have to. Okay, yeah. Good luck and have a good rest of your day. Thanks for joining. So we have vertex groups as well. So if we make a new one, we go in here and select a few like this, and then assign them. Call this, I guess, like test. Okay, we have a test vertex group. And we can then use it in the attribute, density attribute. What about calling it test? Aha! We've reached a new level. We've leveled up. We've gained more knowledge in how you use the attribute. Okay, so now we can change the density using vertex groups. Which means if we go back in here and paint in some more, zip. Or let's remove it a little bit. Oh, make it bigger. And then going over this. Like this. Perfect. Then assign. Wait, what? But there's no vertex group anymore. Why is there still some stuff over there? Oh, we have to invert this and then remove the rest that was still applied. Now we can see they're only on this side. Okay, now we can determine the distribution using a vertex group. Perfect, okay. Density. So we can bring in more, of course. Okay, now, okay, we've gained more knowledge, so we know more about what the blue socket does. This is used for stuff like vertex groups. What else? Vertex groups. Okay, let me see. Can you see the whole image? Okay, perfect. Vertex groups. Okay. The result of the node tree does not always produce vertex groups. If a node like join geometry is used similarly of the data type of a vertex group, it should change from initial prototype to the update of the vertex group. So I guess if we apply a vertex group to a cube, and this cube we will, or like basically if we apply a vertex group to this cube, it will not be transferred to these ones as well, I guess. Okay. I mean, we could try. Let's see. Wait, how could we try this though? I guess we could go in here. We need some more subdivisions though. Let's apply it. Wait, where's my displacement? That's not the displacement I wanted. Wait. Why is it so small? That's what she said. Hold on. What is going on here? I guess we make some sort of round flat stone. Apply that. So now if we... Oh, hold on. We didn't even have to apply that. What I wanted to do... Wait, where's the the subdivision is in the geometry section. Let's remove this for now, we don't need it. What I want to bring in is a subdivision. Put this maybe to 4. Change the strength. Why is it so weird? Why is it so deep inside? That's what she said. Okay, hold on. Yeah, that looks better. Now it's a proper rock. Apply that. No, the subdivision. Okay. So now if we go in here... Nope, let's apply just everything. Okay. So if we then go in here and select a few vertices and we make a new vertex group. Call this test. No, call it transfer test. Go in here, select a few. A little bit more, like this. Okay. Then we assign that. Oh, so they still keep it. So which means if we go back in here, let's make a new cube. We're gonna make it smaller, way smaller. apply the scale, and then we go in here as well, make a new geometry node layer. Go in here and make a point distribute, also then point instance, which object this cube. So now they're scattered all over this rock. We then go ahead and join the original rock with these smaller cubes using geometry. Nope, yeah, join geometry, layout reroute, right in there. Duplicate this. There you go. Now we have cubes on top of cubes on top of a plane. Okay, so that still works. So we can... The vertex groups are going to be applied to the instance object as well. Okay. So there's something I misread. Can be used as attributes in the node tree when referred to by name. However, the result of the node tree does not always produce vertex groups if a node like join geometry is used. Okay. I guess that's a little bit deeper into it. Attribute nodes. Okay. Randomize. The attribute randomize node replaces the values in an attribute with random values within the given range. Okay. Which means, hold on. What if we bring in a... Oh, we have to go in here. We don't need triangulate. We need point instance, and then we use point rotate. Okay. And then we use attribute. Okay, maybe that works. Now if we bring in the attribute randomize option. No, hold on. Let me read through what the actual things do in here. Oh, hold on. So if we put... Put the geometry into the attribute randomize geometry thingy. And now we say rotation minimum maximum. No, that doesn't work. What is this object again? Oh, the plane. Hold on. What if we bring it in here? Attribute randomize. Set this to attribute rotation. Doesn't work as well. Doesn't work either, I mean. Geometry, standard geometry input, attribute, name of the attribute to fill with random values. If there's no attribute with the given name, a new one is created. Minimum, the random value, properties, type of data. Stored in the attribute, float, single floating point value, vector, array of 3. Boolean, a true or false value. Okay. Standard geometry output. Okay. But let's use the scale. Let's see if that works. Scale. No. Float, vector, Boolean. No. I want to randomize the scale. So for the points, of course, I need point scale. Now I have a factor. If I use attribute randomize, doesn't work. What if I use the vertex group in there? No, that doesn't. Let's make a new vertex group. Make a new one, call it scale. Go to edit mode. Oh, hello. Now we make an S, assign. What is it? Scale. No, it doesn't work. Okay. So using a vertex group in there doesn't work. Let's see, let's read through a bit more. Inputs, properties, output, attribute, color ramp, color nodes. Maps the values from a float attribute to their corresponding color. Let's go to point nodes. How does the rotation work? Well, let's go to the scale first. Changes the scale attribute of every point in the geometry by the specified amount, either from the attribute input or a vector input. This node is provided for convenience, as it's equivalent to using the attribute vector map node with the multiply operation and the scale attribute. The scale attribute is used by the point instance node to determine the size of every instance object or collection. Standard geometry input, the attribute or vector input. Translation? Where's the translation? I guess the factor. Name. Type. Attribute. Use the values from the attribute to move each point by a different amount. Vector. Use a single vector to translate every single point equivalent to the transform node. Let's bring back the point scale. So there's something we can put in there. We've already used it in the... Where is it? There it is, for the density attribute. What about removing it from there and setting it in here? Doesn't work. Okay. So that doesn't work. What else could we do? What else could we do? I'm not quite sure. What else could we do? So if we don't get like any further with this, I have some sort of idea what we could do in terms of some sort of like composition, but we will do that when we get there. Let me try some more stuff. Well, I'll give it like 30 minutes more of like finishing the whole thing. If I don't get like anywhere, I'm just gonna put in a few shaders, make a quick composition, and then that's the result for today. Type attribute or vector. So we could put in a vector which doesn't really work. So attribute. The factor, okay. The factor is, hold on. Is there some sort of attributes? An attribute is a generic term to describe the data stored per element in a geometry data block. For example, every vertex can have an associated number or vector. Attributes can be adjusted by the nodes in the attribute category, but some other nodes can change the values of specific attributes. Okay. Attribute data types are converted implicitly where possible. Yeah, implicitly. Just like node sockets. Position and radius. So the... Wait. Point translate. Where's my point translate? There it is. Geometry in there. Okay, now we have a translation in there. So if we use the attribute randomize, there's nothing we can put in there. Attribute. Wait. Do we have to put it in here? Attribute randomize. Attribute scale. No. Oh, that's what we tried before, right? That is what we tried before and it didn't work. So why should it work now? Vertex groups or vertex can be used as attributes in the node tree when referred to by name. However, the result in the node tree doesn't always produce vertex groups. If a node like joint geometry is used to... Yeah. So if we don't get further with this within 15 minutes, I'm gonna make the final composition. Let me drink something real quick, stay hydrated. Oh, so the default value for a scale is a unit scale of 1, 1, 1, but the default scale for new attributes in the attribute nodes is 0. Used in the point distribute node to control the scale. Wait, what? Point distribute node? There's a scale? There's no scale. Hold on. Used in the point distribute node. The point distribute node places points on the surface of the input geometry object. Yeah. Random poisonous seed output geometry. Generated points. Several attributes are created on the output points based on the input mesh. So there's an ID that is created using that. Identify for each one used for stability when the mesh is deformed. Used in the point instance nodes. Rotation. So if we put that in there and then we use attribute randomize, put that in there, set the attribute to, what was it? Rotation, right? Rotation. That does not work. Does it have to be a big R capitalized? Nope. What about int? Nope. Does nothing. normal. Oh, hold on. No, there's nothing. Okay. That is quite interesting. The default value for new attributes in the attribute nodes is 0. Yeah. Geometry nodes. Naming conventions. Node types. Random float. Properties. This node has no properties. That is interesting, to say the least. So what we could do is let's bring in a second dude, a second smaller rock. Let's remove the modifier for the geometry, make it smaller. Oh, like this. Then we go in here and put the distance a little bit higher so there are less, way less. We also want to remove the density attribute. Okay, so now we have only a few of these bigger rocks. We can also then, if we want, change the scale, but I think that looks pretty good already. I mean the rotation and height, but I'm gonna keep it like this. This doesn't work, so let's remove it. Okay. So oh, of course. Now I want to bring in more. So what I'm gonna do is make a new put this in there. I need another point distribute thingy. Put that in there first so we can see what it looks like. We change the distance to very, very small, maybe even random. No, let's change this to distance. That's better. Okay, now they're not intersecting, if I see that correctly. And now, of course, we have to put this maybe to 1. Okay. Then we go in here and use the point instance. We don't use the big boy. We use the second smaller. There you go. Oh, hold on. I think we have to apply the scale. Now they're smaller. We have smaller rocks. Let's make them smooth. Oh, smooth. This one as well. Okay. Ah, this one can actually stay flat, can it? No, that's too rigid. That looks pretty good. Now we want to go in here to the oh, I want to join again. So we put the geometry into the first one, and then the second geometry, the new smaller pebbles in the bottom socket, and there you go. Now we have both. Perfect. The only problem is they're now intersecting, which I don't think we can really avoid What I want to do though first is change the distance so we have less. They're also pretty weirdly distributed. We could probably change the density. Let's put the density very low and then the distance very small. So we have a more randomized location. I mean, let's put the distance maybe to 0.1. Oh wait, they're still on top of each other. Come on. Okay, so let's keep 0.1 as the distance minimum, and then maybe we can change the scale, bring in a bit more. So we still can see the ground at the bottom, but we also see the stones, and we see the bigger stones. And also these cubes, wait, where's the cube, is also applied to the big stones. Let's bring in one more layer, so we'll just use the same thingy, make it smaller. Wait. No, that doesn't work. Yeah, I guess we have to use it. I mean, at least that's how I understand it right now. We have to always add more objects so we can add them to this object. So that we'll do the same once more. Put that in there. Use another join geometry. Before we do that, we're gonna look at them. Or actually, I'm just gonna put them in. Join the good old last pebbles. Use the very small thingy right there, and there you go. Now they should be applied. I can't see them. Oh, there they are. Bring in a few more. The density can be pretty high. Maybe change the distance to something less. That's pretty good. Oh, that's getting pretty. Oh, it looks pretty cool actually. So now you can see they have a height difference. The only problem is they are all basically facing in the same direction. So we have these weird wave or like flow directions, which kind of looks like weird, but isn't really too bad. I think I'm gonna reduce the density of this geometry because it's pretty big. If we have so many small pebbles on the ground, I think we should definitely reduce the density. We can probably just use remesh, put it to sharp, and then set the depth to something less. Maybe dust. It looks pretty good. Maybe put the sharpness down to 0. Maybe 3. 3 is pretty like a lot. I'm gonna use 2. That looks pretty good. Smooth shading. No. They're so small you can't see them anyway. And now they're just very small little pebbles. Oh, actually we're gonna put them to smooth shading. And there you go. Now they're very small pebbles that follow a certain direction, which is kind of weird. Let's see if we can somehow change it. Set that to save that. I haven't saved in a long time. Okay. So let's see. So, So what we have to do in here is use a point node. We should be able to use the rotate node, but that doesn't work. Let's remove all the other first. Let's mute this. This one as well. Oh, hold on. Wait, I want to get rid of these ones, so I put that in there. Oh. Wait, if I mute this, the big ones are still staying. Why? So I guess I have to mute this as well. Oh, hold. So, okay. Okay. So we have the rotation, which doesn't work. I'm not quite sure why. axis attribute, call it, what is it, rotation, I guess? Angle, no. Angle, attribute, I don't know, 10? 150? That is kind of weird. I mean, it's probably not that visible if we make like a macro shot, but it's kind of visible if you look from it from afar. It's not perfectly random. They follow a certain direction, which is kind of let me see if I can figure that out. Blender. Random point rotation. Huh. Point instance? No. So the position, rotation, and scale of the individual points should be adjusted before this node. Okay. Hold on. Attribute randomize. Okay, attribute rotation. Oh, hello. Aha. Haha, now they're all randomly rotated. Which means we can also change the position, right? Though let's remove the displacement for now. So they're all exactly on the same height. And then if we go in here, do the same for the attribute randomize for the position. No, not position. Which attributes are there? Do we see them in here? Attribute nodes, nope. Attributes. Position. Position. Wait. Scale. Oh no. Oh no. Put this to 0.1 and then this one to, hold on. 1.5. Okay. Now we've also randomized the scale. Perfect. So we have very, very, very small pebbles and also very, very big ones. Perfect. Okay, now we figured out how we randomize the attributes of a point. Perfect. The last thing I want to do is randomize the position as well. Let's see. Float vector. Oh, okay. So now if we put this to position. Wait, what? Now it's a cube? Okay. Minimum, maximum. Wait, maximum in the... Why is it, was it... Is the... Wait, where's my plane? There it is. Is the scale is applied, but why is it like this small? I think the position... No, that doesn't make sense. Okay, now we can see how far we can stretch it. like this. Then over here, do the same. Okay. Okay, and then what I wanted to change is this. So we put this to -0.1 and also 0.1. So now they're also changed, like they're distributed not only in the height. No, they're just they have a height difference they can have. Perfect. The only problem is now they're like layered on top of each other. Does that look weird? Let's see. Which one do we have to bring back? This one, right? Okay, now we have a few like laying on top. Oh, that's too big of a distance. We probably have to put this to 0.01 and like this. Haha. Okay. Nice rocky ground. We can bring back the big ones. Wait, they're smaller now. Are they? No, we have to bring back this as well. Ah. Now what we can do with this? We have... Okay. We can also change the rotation of these now. Perfect. So we go in here. Switch this over. And we use attribute attribute randomize. And use float. Set this to rotation. And minimum and maximum, let's put this to 360. So the minimum rotation is no rotation changes or random rotation changes, and max 360 degrees. So they now all have a random rotation. Let's do the same for this one. For these smaller ones, point instance. Oh, we have to put that in front. Let's remove that. In front of the point distance, because once point distance is applied, these objects ignore the attributes of the original points. I guess. What we can also we could probably do like this. Like we can probably just copy all the random attributes. So let's make some more space here. Okay, so now we can just grab these. Is it scale and position? Okay, put that in there. Oh. Da-da-da. Do the same in there. Haha, okay, perfect. The only problem is we should probably adjust the settings a little bit. Oh. Okay, let's change the seed so we get a different distribution. This one looks pretty good, I think. For a nice image. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Maybe like this position right there. Put the camera right there. Let's reposition my camera a little bit. Remove the very small rotation in there. Where's my focus point? Right there. Okay. We could probably even put this a little bit closer. Should we, though? Yeah, I think a little bit, maybe. Oh, hello. Maybe also increase the focal length to something more like 50. Or maybe 30. Go closer. No, hold on. I think it has to be pretty shallow because miniatures are pretty shallow. So if you put this to maybe even more, maybe 120. Oh, hello. Okay, put this further back. There you go. That looks pretty good. And now we have a nice small scene. So, okay, so just to recap, the original idea works. We just had to figure out how you actually change the different values. So my original idea was I wanted to distribute, or I wanted to have a plane, an original plane, which we can then scatter objects on, like on the surface basically. What I mean is we've created a plane, we then created a sphere that we've shaped into a rock shape, which we then applied to the surface of the plane, so they scatter on top of that surface, as you can see with these bigger rocks. We then created a second smaller and then an even smaller rock, so we can see we have 3 different sizes of rocks. And then we had to figure out how we randomize the scale, rotation and position of the rocks. So what we did was, for the first one, what we have to keep in mind is we cannot change the rotation, scale, position or whatever for these points that we have applied the objects to after we have applied the objects to these points. So before we apply these objects, the position they are right now on the surface, they are originally there were points, basically just small little dots that have a position vector, or like they have a certain position, rotation and scale. And once you apply this object to the point, we cannot change the rotation, scale and position anymore. So what we had to do is we had to figure out that you have to put the attribute randomize node in front of the point instance node, which applies the object to the points. So what we first did, we distributed points all over the surface, then we randomized all the values, rotation, scale and position, and then we applied the object to the points. What about muting this? Yeah, you can't really see much. So this node applies this object to the points. If we mute this, you can see there are no objects anymore. And if we re-enable this, we can see they're now on top of these points. We basically did this for all the 3 objects. And now we have a small scene. We could probably, for the last 2, or the medium-sized rocks and the smaller-sized rocks, we could have probably only used 1 object, because we can then adjust the scale not in here for these individual objects, but we could go in here and say, okay, this object should be used twice as a instance object, and then we can reduce the size of the second instance for these very small rocks with these attribute nodes. We can probably say like attribute vector math. No, there should be some sort of attribute that lets you then, yeah, you can basically just randomize them with this one. You can put the minimum to something smaller for the scale, for example, put this to 0.1 to 0.5. So we scale the object down to maximum of 0.5. This way we don't need 3 objects, we basically just need 2. We need 2 because in the bigger rocks we have also used or applied a geometry node setup where we have used, or where we have scattered this cube onto these bigger rocks. And now I'm going to make a small scene and I'm going to render this. That's going to be the end of today. So we actually made something interesting and we figured it out. So that's a nice little win, goal achieved. So I'm gonna finish this, make a small little scene out of this, and then we're done. So what I want to do is go first into this thingy right there and just apply a bevel modifier. Not like this, we have to make it smaller. Just a little bit. Okay, what I want to do then is a displacement modifier. Make a new... No, we can probably use the... No, well, let's make a new one. New texture, clouds. Make it way bigger. Oh. Go into the displacement. Make the changes very, very tiny. So it's just a little bit displaced, more like this maybe. Okay, perfect. Just so it isn't perfect. Now we can see they're also displaced in there, which is perfect. And now we can go in here and first of all, let's go hide the very small rocks. I think those are the ones that really bump up the lag. Hold on, point instance. Yeah. We can see now those are all the points where we've applied the smaller rocks to. So what I want to do is first of all bring in a texture for the ground. Let's see what we have. Let's go to material preview so we can see it. Go to the shader, make a new one, call that ground. Let's bring up a texture. What do we have here? Let's switch back to Blender. So we're in full size view. And then let me quickly go to my textures and remake a small scene. There we go. Blender, references. Nope, not references. Resources. So what do we have here? We have some sort of ground, right? Beach sand. We could probably use some beach sand. Should it be sand? So yeah, I think sand shouldn't be too bad. So let's use beach sand. Put that in there. Color into color, and there you go. We have some beach sand. We could probably make this a little bit bigger, I mean smaller. Oh, so hold on. Now the texture isn't applied. Oh no. Oh no. So what happens if we go in here? And then, oh. Wait, where's my shader setting? There it is. Gradient texture. Wow, that's not visible. So where does the object get its color from? Do we have to change something in the geometry nodes? Where's my point instance cube? Okay. Where's my plane? Where's my plane? There's the plane. Location scale, geometry. Yeah, but there's no material applied to it. Why not? Why do you deny me that privilege of applying a shader to this object? Do we have multiple layers? No, we don't. What about changing the color just like this? That doesn't really do much, right? No. We don't need the... let's remove a few parts of this. Displacement, nope, nope. Okay, perfect. Oh, wait, what? Wait, what brought the texture back? Okay, I guess. I mean, it works, so nice. Should we make this smaller? I mean, bigger? Let's see. Let's go to the plane. We should probably make it a little bit bigger, I guess. Because it's a macro shot. Okay. More like this, maybe? Yeah. Then we need some more maps, of course. Minimize. What do we have here? Normal, displacement. We could go for some roughness first. That's the easiest one to just apply. Roughness in there. First one is done. Next up we have normal. We can just use that as a bump map by converting it to a black and white map. Converter, color ramp, color into factor, and then we need a bump map. I mean bump node, color into height. normal to normal. There you go. We have some nice bumps. The bumps are pretty strong, so let's make it a little bit less. How about 0.1? Maybe a little bit more. 0.5 should be enough. Okay. That's looking pretty good. So next up, what I want to do is bring in subdivision surface, put this to adaptive subdivision, also simple. So we have exactly as much subdivision as we need for the displacement. Texture, nope, vector displacement, displacement into displacement. We need the displacement map. There it is. Color into height. Then, layout, reroute, just to reroute this vector. Put that in there. And perfect. We then have to enable, of course, displacement, bump only to displacement and bump. Let's switch to render view so we can see it. And there you go. Do we have some displacement? I think so, right? I think it's very, very subtle. We should probably bring the mid-level up a little bit, because some of these rocks are floating right now. That's better. Yeah. Scale, let's put this to 2. I just want to see if there are any changes. Yeah, but they're very, very minuscule. 10. Yeah, they're very, very small. Yeah, I mean, we don't really need displacement then. It's not necessary. Then we also don't need, where is it? There it is. We don't need adaptive subdivision. Okay, perfect. Let's go back to solid view. Oh no, to material preview. Let's bring in the stone texture. Do we have a good stone texture? Otherwise, I'm just gonna make one. Let's go back. Mossy rocks. I think I have mossy rocks. Gravel mossy? Okay. No, that's not gonna work. Mud mossy, rock mossy. There you go. Those that look good though. Oh, hold on. Let's see. Do we have a good, worthy contender or not? Oh, it looks pretty good. Let's see. We have to go into the big boy first. Make a new one. Call it Big Rock. Okay. Put that in there. There you go. Doesn't look too bad. I need mapping though. Maybe we should put this more to something like object or generated. Okay, let's use UV. I think UV is the best look. So that's perfect. Now we need some more maps. So let's speedrun this. Displacement. Nope, we don't need displacement. Normal. Converter, color ramp, vector, bump. Dun 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 dun. Oh, that's quite a lot of displacement. Bump, I mean. Maybe put the distance lower. We can either change the strength or the distance. I mean, let's change the strength. Okay. Next up, we need some roughness. There you go. Perfect. Looking at it. We can't really see the changes though, but that's not too bad. What else? We could probably use an ambient occlusion. Should we though? Yeah, let's do it. Put that down there. We use a color mix RGB. Put that in there, put that to multiply, set that to 1. And then we apply the AO right there. AO, what's up? Vector into vector. Okay. So, now we have some AO, some ambient occlusion. We see a slight change. We could probably do that for the plane as well, just to be precise. Which one was it? Beach sand 1. There you go. AO. Multiply. There you go. Perfect. Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. So we have the big rocks. We have the ground. Now I'm gonna make the small cubes. Make a new one. Actually, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna append a shader for this, because I've already made a few gold shaders. I'm gonna make this gold, of course. So let's go to append and let's look through. You can probably not see what I'm seeing, so I'm just gonna speedrun this. And then to be back in the program as fast as possible. Recreating old project. There it is. Material. Which is it? Gold. Where's my gold? T-Rex, which pyramid these walls? Oh no. I haven't named it. Oh no. Maybe we could use black metal. So we go in here. Black metal. Loading. Okay, yeah, look, doesn't look too bad. Perfect. What we should probably... No, let's not do that. What I want to do though is I'm going to bring in another bevel. Put this down there though. Nope, I'm going to put it down there. Just to bevel the edges a little bit more. Change this amount. Segments to more. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Just to make it a little bit more beveled. That looks better. Okay. So we're going to change the color. I'm just going to guess some sort of goldish color. Or like, oh, that looks pretty cool. It's not really gold, but it's, well, whatever. Maybe change the value a little bit brighter. Okay, what we could also do is just bring in a texture map for the roughness. We could probably use like, what do we have here? Displacement. Dum 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 dum. Dry grass. Nope, that's definitely not what I'm. Oh, maybe. Let's see. Oh well, no, I don't want to have grass on these. Beach sand would probably be the best, so let's use it. We should probably use mapping because it's pretty big. There you go. Just to get a little bit of random roughness going. Put that to generated maybe, or object. Hopefully object works. Yeah, that looks... No, it's stretched over there. Normal. Nope. Okay, let's use UV. Why is it so weird? Maybe that looks... No, it still looks weird, but whatever. Put that into the roughness. Loading. I think the bump map is super crazy, that's why it takes so long to load. Okay, now let's change it with the with another color ramp. Okay. Come on, I'm almost done. Okay, white. If we put this lower, we can see it gets glossier. Let's make this fully white. Pull up this so we can get some more glossiness in there, but also a little bit more white. And now we can see we have a nice mix between these two. Some parts are glossier than others. There you go. That's what I was looking for. Maybe we should change the rotation a little bit. Nope, not this one. Nope, that one. Neither. Yeah, that's better. Now we can see some nice irregularities in terms of roughness. Maybe we could bump down the whites a little bit. Okay, that's better. Okay. Specularity can stay the same, metallic as well. Color. We could probably put in some sort of color change as well. We could probably use the same texture as well. So let's go to color, mix RGB, put the color into the factor. We copy the first color from here, put that in there. Oh, there you go. Takes a while to load. There you go. And now we can put this to black first so we can see the changes. Nothing happens really. We have to probably put this to something more like multiply. I don't want to multiply it because that's just going to make it darker, or not, I guess. Oh, hold on. That should be better. No, well, wait, what? It does something, but not really that much. We can probably just make our own texture real quick. So we use a noise texture. Come on. Okay, there you go. Factor into the factor. Before we do that though, I want to see the texture, customize it, and then we'll go right into it. Put in some more detail, some more roughness, not too much distortion. No, don't need that. Converter, color ramp. Bump up the blacks. Keep the whites pretty strong, more like this. Okay. Now we have a nice dirt texture for this color. Oh, and you can see it gets a little darker. We should probably also multiply this node in the roughness. Let's do that. We use another one. Like this. It takes so long to load. Hey, that doesn't look too bad. Like kind of a dirty goldish. That's pretty good. Perfect. We can see them in here already. So the last thing we have to change is these smaller rocks. I guess we could just, let's see, do I have another good rock texture? I have rock rough. That's pretty rough. We could probably try it. Diffuse. Okay, let's see. Let's make a new one. Medium rock. Doesn't look too bad. Maybe a little bit big. Yeah, doesn't look too bad. Perfect. Put that in there. We could probably change the color though. Maybe hue saturation. Something more yellowish red. Oh, that's too much. Just a little bit more of a red tint. That's pretty good. Saturation can be lower. Yeah, that's pretty good. Value can be darker. There you go. Okay. So what do we need as well? are the... Oh, we have a specularity. Perfect. What else? We have a bump map. Perfect. Vector bump. Do we need to decrease the strength? Yeah, a little bit maybe. Put this to 0.25. That's probably better. Let's see. Just adding a little bit, maybe 0.5. 0.5 should be good though. They shouldn't be too rough. Let's put it to 0.3. Okay. And we should also have a roughness. There it is. There you go. Let's see it. Okay, perfect. So we have the bigger or the kind of medium rocks now. Should we make them greenish? We could maybe add a little bit of green in there. Nah. Let's see, where's my... There it is. I want to keep this. Copy this in there, into there. Then I will make a texture, noise texture. Converter color ramp. Make this smaller. Bump up the blacks. Make this detail way higher. Roughness should be okay. Okay, now we can use this as a mask for color mix RGB. Put that into the factor. First texture in there, second texture in there, and then we have combined the mossy texture with the gravel texture or these kind of stone texture. So we should get a nice mossy stone. There you go. And now if we reduce... Wait, is that muted? Oh. If we change these values right here, we can bring more or less mossy like rock. So I think this is a pretty good mix between the two. That looks pretty good. Perfect. So we have now fully mossed out rocks. We have kind of mossy rocks, and then I'm gonna make very, very small ones that are not mossy at all. We could probably also bring in some moss for the... Let's copy that. For the gold. Just a little bit. Where's the... Oh, there it is. Loading, loading. There you go. Put the color into the color, and there you go. Ah, now we have some moss on these rocks. Perfect. We could probably change it up a little bit. Either more or less. I think that looks pretty good. Oh, yeah, that looks really good. So that's a good way to combine different textures to make a very realistic looking combined texture. So we've basically made a gold, a mossy gold texture with just a mix RGB node. Okay, now let's bring in the small boys. Where are the small boys? That's my plane. Go in here. Enable that, and there you go. We should probably just copy this shader, which is called medium rock. Make a new one, call it small rock, and there you go. Okay, it's pretty it looks kind of weird. what I want to do is remove this combination. I just want to keep the first texture. There you go. But it's still pretty big, so let's bump up the size. Doesn't really do much right now. Is there no proper UV anymore? That looks kind of weird. Why is there no UV? I guess because of the applied modifiers. Let's apply the remesh. Oh, because of the remesh. Let's do the same again. Smart UV there you go. That's better. Okay, let's change the scale. Higher. There you go. Nice little texture for a nice little pebble. Could probably bump this even higher. There you go. Perfect. And we have some nice small, very, very small pebbles. We should probably change the tone for these ones as well, just a little bit to make them fit more into the scene with these mossy stones. So let's do that. Where is it? Where is the rock? Wait, that's the wrong one. There it is. Let's change the way. Let's see, what do we have here? A little bit more greenish. Oh, that looks pretty good. No, it was too green. Yeah, something like that. Looks pretty good. Okay, perfect. Let's save. I'm kind of scared to see it in the rendered view. But what if I hide this? Oh, cool, it stays. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. Okay, let's remove this plane. I mean, this light source. First of all, I'm gonna save. Hopefully this is not gonna freeze when I implement an HDRI now, because there are so many objects. Let's see, what do we have here? Let's bring in a nice little HDRI texture. What do we have? I think I have a beach texture. No, I have something similar. What about this one? No, that's probably too green. Actually, it looks pretty good. But it's pretty, you know what? I'm gonna increase the strength again for these. Which one's the big boy? What I'm gonna do first though is gonna use a different HDRI. Maybe this one. Oh, that's pretty strong. Actually, I'm gonna use it. That's probably the best one for the scene. Nice desert. Okay. Oh, of course, go into the big rock. Let's see which one's the big one. Oh, that's the small one. We can probably, I want to bump up the strength to 1 to complete full strength. I think in the material preview the bumps look even stronger than they actually are. So if we put that to 1, I mean the maps are there for some reason and they're set up like this for some reason, so we shouldn't have to decrease their strength. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Which ones? Okay. Wait, let me bring in the big rock. I want to go in here and just quickly smart UV this. Maybe that's giving me a better UV. Yeah, looks better. Perfect. So of course we could add more to the scene, stuff like adding plants or insects or stuff like that, but I think that looks pretty good. for the first time ever using geometry nodes, I think we've achieved quite a lot. Let me just finish this scene by going in here using my depth of field empty and putting it somewhere here, maybe on this nice little gold block, and then increasing the depth of field, or actually enabling it. There you go, making it very, very shallow. 0.5. Like, it looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit too small. Maybe put it to 1. Yeah, looks pretty good. We'll save that. And there you go. I'm gonna render this probably off stream, probably tomorrow. I'm gonna post it on Instagram and all that jazz, so we can see. Oh, let me just see how long it's gonna take. Maybe if it's just gonna be like 10 minutes or so, we can probably wait. Let's see. We can probably put this to 50% just to finish this. Save it one more time, render. Let's see how long it's gonna take. Oh, it's very fast. Okay. Wait, what? I want to change the depth of field again. Looks kind of weird right now. The back over there is way more highlighted than the rest. I'm gonna put it more in here somewhere. More like this. Is it still applied to the camera? No, it's not. Oh, that's why. Whoa, whoa. Let's see. Now it looks, yeah, it looks, should be better. So let's do it one more time. Go to this view. Make this, maximize this, if this window. Zip, zip. And F12. And there we go. Perfect. So I've rendered our final image. Just some rocks on some sand. Nothing special. And of course some gold ore cubes on the bigger rocks. Yeah, we've basically achieved what I wanted to achieve. Just scattering some stuff over an object. I guess you can apply the same geometry, like geometry nodes, then to a sphere as well if you want it. We can do that real quick. Let's see if that works. But to go into retrospect, yeah, it's probably a very intuitive and very easy way to create scenes like this, just adding more scattered stuff on top of a surface. The only thing that I kind of want to, well, so you could basically do almost the same with particles. The only difference is that you can change the position, the height of these particles, so they can actually be on top of the surface rather than just being on, like being stuck to the surface. That I think is the only difference that you cannot adjust in the particle setting. I think the particles are already stuck to the surface, at least if you want to use them as a still image. If they just like remove themselves from the surface using the vector, then it could probably also work. But yeah, that's this is a good way to create these scenes now. I think if you really get in the groove, it'll be easier and more natural to use than particles, because you have more freedom. You can like customize it more. I haven't really, like, that's the first day I've ever used these geometry nodes, so you can probably go way deeper. And I'm gonna go look into it some more, see what we can do with this. I want to try one more thing, and then we will probably do at some point some sort of project where we create some sort of scene or something with these things. Maybe even animate this. I'm not quite sure how viable that is, but we'll see. Let's hide this so it's faster. And then I want to bring in a geometry node modifier and put this to, which one is it? The plane has geometry. I can't see it. Just geometry nodes, okay. Wait, put this to geometry nodes. No, that's the wrong one. This one? Oh, of course. So, okay, well, it does what it's supposed to. It removes the sphere and applies the no, it doesn't. Wait. It doesn't do that. Because it should distribute them all over the surface of the sphere, not make a plane out of it. See, now we have a plane. There are the cubes, so the ones I've used for the big boulders. But that just makes it a plane. That's kind of weird. Okay, well, we can look deeper into that at some other point. But that's gonna be it for it. That's gonna be it for today. We can see the final result right here, and also in here in the viewport. Yeah, looks pretty cool, I think. I'm gonna save this, and yeah, if you enjoyed today, maybe you want to look more into geometry nodes yourself now, feel free. You can, of course, I'm gonna look into it as well. If you have any questions, maybe I can help you. And yeah. Tomorrow we're gonna start my MSI Creator Award submission, which means we're gonna start my piece. We're probably gonna start just blocking out the scene, and then maybe even start sculpting. So that's gonna be tomorrow. We're gonna start creating my MSI Creator Award submission. The first few streams where we do that will probably be more about modeling and sculpting, and then the next streams will be more about shading, lighting, and all that. So you can decide which interests you. The first, probably tomorrow and the day after, will be more modeling and sculpting. Then I'm probably going to work on it some more on the weekend, maybe, and then I'm on Tuesday, we'll maybe do a project with geometry nodes, we'll see. And then we'll work some more on the MSI Creator Award. Monday, of course, will probably be some sort of tutorial, we'll see. But until then, hopefully, maybe I'll see you tomorrow for the start of the big project, my submission. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for joining. Thank you for hanging out. Maybe I'll see you next time. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Maybe you'll look more into geometry nodes now that I enticed you to use them. Yeah, thanks for joining. Hopefully you have a great rest of your day. And yeah, until then, maybe I'll see you next time. Take care.